Hello and welcome to the Mighty Electronic Box for the week of the 19th of May 2014. First of all, sorry for the sort of hiatus we've had recently. Combination of work life and uni exam life have conspired to mean that we couldn't record anything recently. But to make sure you guys didn't go without an episode forever, I've recruited a special guest, one GiantBomb moderator, Mr. Raccoon, M. Raccoon. Talha?
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
How are you, dude?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show.
No, that's fantastic.
It's my first podcast.
First podcast ever?
Yeah, first podcast ever.
That's pretty neat. And you've come to the right place to, break your podcast virginity, as it were.
I thought it had to be a British podcast.
Well, yeah, I mean, don't want to join them dirty Yanks, that's for sure.
No, I'm not going to disparage any other community podcasts.
Okay, well, we'll leave the we'll leave the regional hate to the Giant Bombcast, I think.
Yeah.
Not the place or time for that here. But yeah, welcome onto the show, and thank you for taking the time to sit down with us and record an episode this week. Sadly, Joe and John aren't here. John definitely will be joining me next week. He's had some issues, and Joe potentially as well. So we'll see how that works out. But first of all, let's do what we always do and kick this thing off by talking about what we've been playing this week.
Okay.
Would you like to start?
So I've also been in exams, so I haven't been playing anything recently coming out, like new releases, but I have been playing a bit of Fire Emblem Awakening on the 3DS.
Oh, yeah.
So that came out last year?
Yeah.
Early last year. And, sorry?
No, I was going to say, it was probably about this time, because I remember all my friends playing it on the way to the MCM London Comic Con Expo. And that's like next week or something, so it must have been around this time last year, I think.
Yeah, no, I think that's in July, isn't it?
What, MCM?
Yeah. Or do they have two?
They do have two a year, but I thought they were evenly spaced. I could be wrong.
Okay. I have to look that up. But I only got a 3DS when Pokemon X and Y came out. So yeah. I've only had it for a few months now. When did Pokemon X and Y come out? At the end of last year.
Was it that? Oh, I can't remember. I remember being really hyped when that came out. Like, I got it a few days early from some dodgy shop in the middle of London.
Yeah, I ordered it online and it came early, so I was pretty happy.
Yeah,
but
right.
The problem is I hadn't got a 3DS yet. So I had the game, but not the 3DS. I ended up getting the Y version, the red Pokemon Y version. It's quite sweet.
Yeah, I got X because everyone was getting Y. No.
Yeah, it was an even split between me and my housemates, so I like the red colour.
Yeah, I think the Y legendary is cooler, to be honest, than the X.
Yveltal.
Sure. I want to know.
I don't know how you pronounce it.
When's Z coming out? That's what I want.
But they've announced that's weird because they've announced the Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah, that's
new versions.
That's a good point. It's a Mega Ruby and something Sapphire. I've forgotten what the name is.
Yeah, I've never actually played those ones.
Huh. That's interesting, because Ruby and Sapphire were probably the ones that I played the most. And looking back on it, they're probably the second worst ones in the franchise.
Oh, is that? I played the first Yellow, not the first one. And then I didn't play one until Platinum.
Right.
And then X and Y.
You jumped back in at a bad time. Platinum is, in my opinion, the worst of all the ones in the franchise. It didn't really...
I didn't even finish it.
Like, up till that point, I completed every single Pokemon game that I bought, and I'd buy... I ended up buying, one of, like, the first two that came out, and then the sort of, the bonus combined edition that they do afterwards for every generation. And I completed all of them up until Platinum. And at Platinum, I was just like, I can't do this anymore, and I gave up on it.
Yeah, it was a bit disappointing. It didn't seem anything particularly special about it.
No, sadly not.
Do you carry a Pokemon over from each generation?
So, more than a Pokemon. At some point, I went pretty crazy and I brought every legendary that I had ever caught from all the old games as far forward as I possibly could. So I have legit, legendaries from Gold and Silver and stuff coming over, or however it works. I can't remember how it ended up. Oh no, I think I did it from Fire Red and Leaf Green. Got some people over that way, Pokemon over that way. But with X and Y, with the the bank system, did you ever get involved with that?
They released that afterwards.
Yeah, it was a while after the game came out, and then it was broken when it came out as well.
I kind of stopped playing by then.
Yeah, so did I. And that system was also like it was free for the first month, but then they were going to make it a subscription fee or something stupid like that, and you needed to use the bank system to trade over your old Pokemon into X and Y. So I kind of dropped off at that point, sadly.
So you haven't brought all of them into X and Y?
No, not yet. Not yet. My shinies as well. I really should have brought them over. You know what? Here's a question for you. Did you get a shiny in X and Y?
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's weird. So most of the people I've talked to did. Yeah, I got a shiny Voltorb. No, it was an Electrode. It was blue and white instead of red and white. Which I was pretty hyped about. I was pretty stoked about that. But then
it's quite cool.
Everyone I knew got a shiny in X and Y. And I'm 99 to 100% sure that they increased the appearance rate for shinies in X and Y much higher than it ever used to be. Because it just seemed unnatural how many people were getting them.
I'm still in the percentage who didn't get it then.
Oh, that's a shame. That's sad. Yeah, because I remember back in the day, Sapphire was actually the first one I got a shiny in. And I remember I was surfing down by Seafoam Island, not that you'd know where that is. And I was just sort of running past every wild Pokemon I came across because I was like, I don't care about any of them. I'm just trying to go somewhere. And then out of nowhere, my finger was hovering over the run button when I suddenly realised that the Tentacruel I was looking at was green. I was like, hang on a minute.
This is different.
Exactly. So I just threw a Master Ball at it straight away. No messing around. Whenever I see a shiny, it's just instant Master Ball straight to the face.
Okay. I've never had a shiny in any Pokemon.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
Did they have them in the original?
They had them from, I want to say Gold. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure in Gold and Silver they added them. Not before. Yeah, they were definitely in Gold and Silver. Definitely in Gold and Silver.
So it's Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Makes sense. Well, doesn't make any sense at all, actually, to be honest. But,
yeah, Alpha Sapphire? No,
it's a bit weird. But, that could be good. I really liked what they did with X and Y. I think they did some clever stuff. And
I enjoyed it a lot. I like the 3D, proper 3D part to it as well.
Not the stereoscopic 3D.
That was okay.
I turned that off because it tanked the frame rate so hard.
Yeah, and it only appeared in a few places.
Yeah, it was only in battles and small caves and stuff.
I turned it on every time my Pokemon were evolving.
Worth it. Definitely worth it. I don't know, did you ever, the multi-battles, which were kind of odd? The ones where you fought like 6 of the same Pokemon at once?
Oh yeah, those were strange.
Yeah, so in those, if you turned 3D on, it was probably running at less than 10 FPS. It was chugging so hard. So hard. It's crazy.
Yeah. The 3D is mostly gone out of most games in the 3DS at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I recently bought, getting ahead of myself because we still haven't even talked about Fire Emblem yet, but I recently bought Mario Golf, the new one on 3DS. Yeah,
that came out like a few weeks ago.
Yeah. I haven't had a chance to play it too much, obviously, because of exams, but when you turn the 3D on in that, I often forget that the 3D is on whilst I'm playing. Like, it's that understated that you can just kind of don't even notice that it's there.
Yeah, it's the only game that I've played that really made use of it was Mario 3D Land.
That was fantastic. That was
which is a really good game.
Yes, I heartily recommend it. Although I never got to the crazy hard levels at the end, unfortunately.
I didn't finish those. I played a couple of them.
Yeah, I played like
They're
half
fun.
of them. Yeah, so do you want to talk about Fire Emblem now that we've
had
a little detour?
Fire Emblem Awakening. So the only other Fire Emblem game I've played is like a tiny bit of the one on GBA, which is Sacred Stones. I think that's what it's called. So I had no prior experience, and I was very impressed. It's easy to pick up. Like it's not as advanced as say Advance Wars strategy wise.
Right.
So there's not much. You don't have to like overly think every battle, but there's still enough tactics involved that choosing who you send out and like what your party is made up is quite fun to like mix and match who you've got in your team. And they, I don't know if they had it before, but they have relationships in this game.
I feel like that was a Fire Emblem-y thing, but it's definitely a big thing.
You can have kids in this one.
That might be new. I'm not a huge aficionado of the Fire Emblem franchise. I've still yet to buy the one on 3DS, as much as I've heard about how good it was. I never.
My main interaction with the Fire Emblem franchise is in Super Smash Bros. Anyway. So
right, okay, that's one way to look at it.
But that's surprisingly fun, just the relationship part, because then you're like, oh, who do I want to put together? And then you have to try to get them next to each other in battle. And then it's quite fun. They wrote a lot of dialogue, because there are a crazy amount of combinations you can set up between characters. And they're actually pretty decent, like what they say, quite funny and a bit charming.
Cool.
So I'm just about to finish it. I'm like before the final battle, so I'm trying to do all the other side missions.
Oh wow, it's pretty long game, isn't it?
Yeah, I must have played it for like 30 hours or something. Yeah.
Wow, that's quite a dedication.
Yes, it's fun.
Awesome. It's definitely one that I do mean to pick up at some point when I have more free time, if ever.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely worth checking out, even if you haven't played it before. I played it on the normal mode. They have an easy mode now where your characters don't permanently die.
Well, what's the point? What's the point?
Yeah, I end up restarting the battle anyway if they die. But
yeah,
I think that's fair.
Do, I think
that's fair enough, because you have to try to make it work out.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like you're just letting everyone die because it's easier that way.
But I'm kind of overpowered at this point because I've done all the side stuff. So the final mission should be quite easy.
That's what you think?
It's fun. But it's fun because I've earned it.
Cool. Anything else you played over the last few weeks?
I played a bit of Super Mario 3D World, actually. With my housemate has a Wii U, so I'm glad he has the Wii U, so I don't have to own one.
I wish one of my housemates had a Wii U.
Yeah, and it's good because he's pre-ordered, what's it called? Mario Kart 8.
Okay.
Which I'm looking forward to.
Did you play the one, was there a 3DS one?
There was a 3DS one, but I haven't played that.
7, I believe.
7.
That was great because there was like a game-breaking bug in that on one of the tracks where you could jump off the side of the track and it would put you like at the finish line, and so everyone online would just do that. And then Nintendo ended up patching it, and it basically implemented patching on the 3DS just so that they could patch that game.
What is it with handheld Mario Kart games? Because in the DS one, there's also that snaking, which everyone did, which was when you drifted side to side really quickly, and it gave you kind of a boost. Not sure exactly how it works, but it kind of ruined the online.
It kind of ruined the online, but I didn't play very much of it at all, any of the DS Mario Kart, but there was still a finesse to it, to be fair.
Definitely. Well, I couldn't master it, so I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It did kind of make it unfair for the people who could master it compared to everyone else. So.
Yeah, so 3D World, I had played 3D Land before. It's the first multiplayer Mario game I've played.
Oh, God.
Because I hadn't played any of the Wii ones or the other one that came out on the Wii U.
Like the
side-scrolling ones.
The new Super Mario Bros. Games.
Yeah, new Super Mario Bros. Games. The Wah games.
Yeah, Wah.
But no, 3D World was a lot of fun. It kind of goes and becomes like chaos every time in every level, but it's more just playing with other people and having a laugh. They do a devious thing where they rank you at the end, and then they give whoever's got the highest score a crown, and so it ended up everyone wanted the crown.
Yeah.
After each level.
Did you get involved in trying to intentionally kill your friends?
Oh, definitely. and unintentionally trying to kill my friend.
Can you still pick people up? Because I remember in some of the new Super Mario Bros. Games, you could pick someone up and then throw them. So you
Yeah,
could
you
like
can,
pick them up and
but
lob them in lava.
you can, but I think they can
They can
jump out.
Yeah, they can jump out of it. But if they're not paying attention quick enough, you can sneak up and grab them and lob them.
They have different. They had this one had the cat suits, which kind of just like do whatever you want because you can climb on top of everything and it makes the game really easy. But for the how big the levels are, it's quite fun, and they're quite tall as well. So,
and I mean, the game being called New Super Mario World or whatever it's called, I can't remember now. Super Mario World, the original, which by the way is my favoritist game ever, also had a broken power up, the cape, which made everything in the whole game trivial. So kind of makes sense. I still wish
in the tradition of broken Mario suits and power ups.
Yeah, I still wish they would make a proper sequel to Mario World with without the multiplayer, B 2D side scrolling, and C cape. That's all I want.
I don't know why they haven't done that.
Yeah,
it seems so obvious that there's something to do, but they keep focusing on. I don't know. Like 3D World, that's quite good, but the 2D multiplayer ones seem not as good.
No, I don't like the art style for them either. The pseudo 2.5D or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
not a massive fan.
So you've played the new Super Mario?
I haven't played the new Super Mario Bros. I have watched a lot of them, which I know isn't the same, but yeah, not being a Wii owner kind of makes it hard to play those games.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the new World game?
Some of the levels definitely seem like they're designed for a single player.
Okay, that's good.
Because they're quite difficult, and if you're all madness going across screen, then it's hard to do some precision jumps, and some levels there's like timing involved where things are going along with the beat of the music, which is really good, by the way.
That's cool.
I should add, and it looks gorgeous, which is fun.
Yeah, HD and all that.
Yeah. Finally.
Finally. Another thing about it being a world game, it's got the same mechanic that all the new Super Mario Bros. Games and the Super Mario 3D Land had of there are hidden coins, is that right? The star coins?
The 3 hidden coins.
Yeah. And obviously if you want the game to be more challenging, you kind of have to go after those because the levels themselves aren't necessarily as challenging, or would you say that's changed in this one?
I would say most of the levels aren't extremely challenging.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just thinking about, original Super Mario World. Again, the star coins have kind of changed the structure of Mario games recently, and it is if you are looking for a challenging platforming experience, you've got to be going in there trying to go after the star coins. And I mean, often once you get all the star coins, they do unlock some harder levels that are more what you're looking for.
But, this one also has some levels after the final boss level.
Are they wacky like the ones where in Galaxy?
Yeah, they're kind of crazy.
Yeah,
stuff.
That's neat in a way, but I do also miss the more straightforward style that the original like Super Mario World had, where there were stuff like hidden exits and stuff, but the levels themselves were the main challenge.
Yeah, it would be good if they made a pure Mario game.
Yeah,
without all this added excess baggage.
It'd just be hard
picked up over the years.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for them because they don't want to, have loads of kids coming and the kids that have become accustomed to what the franchise is now coming in and then being like, this game's too hard. I can't play this Mario game.
They should make it a downloadable one then.
That might work actually, because
then they can keep
definitely hard
adding
to market.
levels.
Yeah,
whenever they wanted.
That's an interesting idea actually.
So have you been playing anything?
What have I been playing? Since I finished my exams, I busted out Dark Souls 2.
Had you played any of that previously?
No, I made a vow to myself, first of all, that I wasn't going to get it on console, and I was going to wait for the PC version. And then secondly, it came out like after my first exam of 7, So I had to make a second vow to myself that I wasn't going to play it until my exams were over, which is very hard to adhere to, given how much I ended up
Even more difficult than Dark Souls itself.
That's debatable. Dark Souls is pretty difficult, man. It's funny. I had a kind of weird relationship with the first Dark Souls, because I remember buying it on a whim. Of people went crazy about the first Dark Souls, kind of around the time that it came out, and I remember being like, I've got a week until Battlefield 3 comes out. I guess I'll buy Dark Souls, and so I bought Dark Souls, just randomly, and then played it for a week. Played like 20 odd hours. I was pretty into it, and then Battlefield came out, and I just dropped Dark Souls entirely, completely forgot about it, and played Battlefield and Skyrim for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And then eventually I came back to it, like a long time afterwards, put another 24 hours into it, and then that was all on Xbox. And then stopped playing it again because I got stuck, wasn't really getting anywhere. And then what happened is, I then bought it on PC for some reason, because my cousin had it, and then played through the whole thing on PC, putting in like 50 odd hours extra. So I basically just started again from scratch for no real reason whatsoever.
That's dedication.
I guess. I don't know. I think I didn't get on with it that well
craziness.
At the start. Yeah, kind of is. Obviously, it was a lot easier the second time round. And having my cousin also playing it on PC, we got that mod that allowed you to summon people on your friends list really easily. And then, so I just summoned him in, like, constantly, and then wrecked every boss. We beat we basically beat the last 10 bosses of the game, including like the DLC bosses, in like 5 hours or something. We were just absolutely
ruining the
them.
sanctity of Dark Souls.
I guess.
You're meant to play with friends.
I like playing with friends though, it's more fun. Where's co-op Souls?
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Maybe that new Project Beast or whatever it is.
Maybe. I don't know, it seems like against everything the developers of Dark Souls are going for, because in Dark Souls 2 they basically made it, as far as I'm aware, I haven't messed around with any of the summoning stuff yet, but the summoning stuff is all like on a time limit now or something, so if you summon someone you can't even have them hang around with you and just help you clear out an area anymore. They seem really against you getting outside help.
Yeah, they have very specific design goals with that game, and they followed it through to the end.
That's true. Did you play the original?
I haven't played any Dark Souls, or Demon Souls, or Dark Souls 2.
Oh man, that's a shame.
I have seen a lot of it being played, obviously.
Have you watched the GiantBomb stuff, I guess?
Yeah. I think I've had my fill from that.
Okay, that's fair enough. But I was going to go into some more specifics about how Dark Souls 2 has, at least what I've noticed in the 7 or so hours I played of it, has changed. First of all, it's really pretty on PC and runs at 60 frames a second, and that's really nice. But there's some game.
Does the fire look better or the torches? Wasn't that a thing on the console? People upset that the torches.
Okay, so about that, it's interesting because I played Dark Souls 2 at an event, Eurogamer Expo. I
played at Eurogamer Expo as well. Yeah. I don't know why. I even waited in queue for that.
Yeah.
But I did.
So yeah, the build at Eurogamer Expo was the build from Tokyo Game Show. And it definitely, I remember vividly it having, the fancy lighting that everyone was going on about. And then the screenshots they showed afterwards, the GIFs that came out, were 100%, like, I could tell they were different. Something had changed about the lighting. The PC version doesn't have lighting, the crazy good lighting that that demo build had.
That build.
Yeah, I don't know where it went. I guess it just must have destroyed the frame rate in some part of the game, so they're just like, we're just going to have to rip it out, which is fair enough, because it still looks really good anyway. Like, the lighting's really nice. The torches are really cool, although I'm kind of disappointed. You only have a shadow cast from yourself when you hold a torch. Like, if you just walk past an ambient light, there are no shadows, but as soon as you whip out that carryable torch, there are awesome shadows going everywhere, which is kind of weird.
Ah, okay.
So maybe that's strange. Some of the lighting still hanging around, but, not...
Yeah, I'm sure they did it to optimize the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because what other reason would they have to take it out if it made the game look better?
Yeah, really don't know, but it doesn't affect the gameplay that much. I mean, I've downloaded, that E&B series mod that allows you to tweak all the gamma and the brightness and everything, so now my game is like pitch black and I can't see anything anywhere unless I use a torch, which is kind of fun, I guess.
Literal Dark Souls there.
Yeah, actually, hadn't thought of that. But all I was going to say is there's a few bits and pieces they've changed about it that probably won't make much sense to you having not played, any of the previous games. But it's just stuff like it takes a little bit longer to raise your shield now. So sometimes I'll be pressing block, expecting my guy to just instantly whip up the shield and tank an attack because I'm like reacting to the boss swinging at me immediately. And a lot of the time, I think I spend more time in that game staring at my stamina bar than like at the boss I'm fighting, because it's literally just a game of manage the stamina bar, and there's very little else that you need to do other than that if you want to win. If you're using a shield, or even if you're rolling sometimes, because like when I block, it takes off stamina, and then when you want to go and attack, it's going to take more stamina as well. So you then have to think, okay, once I've attacked, how long is it going to take the boss to come and attack me? And will I have regained enough stamina to either roll out the way or block his next attack again, depending on what it's going to be? And that's kind of how you have to play the game. And now that it takes a little bit longer to raise the shield up, what I do is I stand around waiting for my stamina to go up as much as possible before I block. So like I'll leave my shield down because your stamina goes up faster.
Yeah.
And then the boss will start lunging at me, and I'll be like, oh, I'll just whip up my shield now and I'll be fine. But because it takes that little bit longer to whip up your shield, I keep on getting stabbed by like the bosses and killed instantly. I'm like, God damn it!
The game is all about the animations, and if you've learned the animations from the last one, or how long each animation takes, and then you're going into the next one and it's completely different, then it's bound to throw you off your game.
Absolutely. Like the drinking Estus flasks takes longer. Once you swing, there's more of a cooldown before you can roll or block or do another action other than walking. So they've changed a bunch of the timings on things, and it is hard to get used to. But I really like it so far. It's gorgeous, and looking forward to sinking many hours into that again and building
a
character.
Harder than the last game?
I died a bunch. So maybe?
Really?
I don't know. I can't say yet. There's more bosses, I know that much. So, yes, it's harder.
Okay.
More means harder. It's a fact of life.
Were you prepared to die when you died?
Sometimes. Not always. When I'm not, I get angry. Dark Souls is an angry game.
When a person comes around the corner and kicks you off the ledge.
There hasn't been anything quite like that yet. It's interesting because I played a bit of Dark Souls when it originally came out and then left it for so long. A lot of the multiplayer type stuff had kind of faded out. And playing this Dark Souls 2 so close to launch, there are just messages and stuff everywhere.
Okay.
Another thing they've changed is in the original Dark Souls, when you were hollow, when you died, you weren't able to summon people and some other weird stuff like that. But also when you weren't hollow, so if you consumed humanity to become human again, the amount of messages and stuff that you could see increased, like to try and help you, I suppose, to reward you for using humanity. In this game, there are just like messages everywhere all the time because they've placed slightly less emphasis on becoming human, and not being hollow. So there's this a constant barrage of messages and bloodstains, which is like a little replay of people dying, obviously. But
are they mostly trying to trick you?
Well, it's interesting. I keep on seeing very helpful messages, and I've taken to like reading every message and watching most of the replays, and so far it hasn't screwed me over. Like none of them have been trolling, and it seems to only be surfacing the messages that have high ratings, and obviously the ones that are highly rated are the ones that aren't trolling you.
That's quite cool then. It's actually working. The system works.
Yeah, there's been genuine stuff where I've it saved my life, just like reading a message or just the information you can get from a message. It lets you know, I should go this way first.
Are you not playing the game with an FAQ?
No. I will play it for as long as possible until there's something I can't do. Like in the first game, I only started looking at FAQs when I started looking into like the really obscure crafting stuff. Like, where's the blacksmith that allows me to make lightning weapon +5, or where's the ember I need to do that kind of stuff. Otherwise, I'm trying to, the exploring is the part of the game I enjoy the most, probably more than fighting bosses. Actually, the bosses just piss me off, but I like walking around and seeing the pretty landscapes that they make. That's what I like the most.
Cool. Sounds like you're having fun.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Did you ever play Demon Souls?
No, I didn't actually. I didn't have a PS3 at the time. Oh, I just still don't have a PS3. One day, maybe I'll go back to it, but I think it seems... I don't know, I feel like it's dated, but it's probably not. They're all more or less the same game, just slightly different. So
I thought there was quite significant changes between Demon Souls and Dark Souls, but Dark Souls 1 and 2 are more similar.
Dark Souls 1
from what I've gathered.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the Dark Souls 1 and 2 are more similar, but there is stuff in Dark Souls 2 where they've kind of gone back to what they did in Demon Souls, in a way. Stuff like consumable health items and reducing the number of Estus flasks you have, and changing the way some summoning and stuff works. So they're different enough that, yeah, I'm not sure if I'll ever go back to Demon Souls.
Yeah, it's quite old. Well, relatively speaking.
Yeah, it is. Gosh, because it's been so long since I've recorded a podcast, I'm not sure what's actually relevant and worth me talking about that I've played, because it's been a while. I mean, obviously I didn't play too much because of exams, but I mean, obviously we talked about Mario Golf. I might mention that quickly. On the 3DS. So, did you ever play any of the old Mario Golf games?
Nope.
Oh, okay. They're actually really cool. I honestly recommend like the old Game Boy one. It's kind of neat.
That's also by the same people.
The same developer.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's impressive. Because that's like a gap of
a long time.
20 years or something.
Yeah, Game Boy.
I might be exaggerating.
20 plus. Game Boy is 20 years old at least.
Yeah, that's for sure. So yeah, that's kind of impressive if it's the same team. Yeah, the new one's really cool. I haven't had a chance to dabble with it too much. It's interesting that there's only 3 full courses in the main game, 3 18-hole courses. I've only played the first one so far, so I guess it isn't much of a problem. But I mean, it feels really good. Getting the hang of manual shots, so like putting backspin and stuff on the ball is tricky, and I'm not very good at it yet. But yeah, it plays really well. There's a decent selection of characters. I'm glad I can play as Yoshi. But I think the thing is, the main part of the game is playing as your Mii, and I'm not a massive fan of Miis in general, so it kind of sucks that I have to play the main progression of the game as a Mii. But it does allow them to do stuff like, I can buy outfits and new clubs and stuff, which is kind of cool.
Do you like golf?
Do I like real golf? There's an interesting story about me playing real golf.
What is that story?
First of all, let me preface this with, I hate watching golf. I think it's dreadfully boring. No offense if you enjoy watching golf on the telly.
I only ever watch the Ryder Cup.
Is that the America versus Europe one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's alright, I guess. It's more interesting than than normal golf. But yeah, the interesting story. So, I haven't played golf since one particular event in my life, which was, there's a golf course near where I live in Berkshire, and I was on the 6th tee doing a round of golf with, I think it was with my mum at the time, and so I teed off from the 6th tee, sliced it horribly, and it was going low and hard, like at head height, onto another green from the first hole. And just at the same time, there happened to be an old man watching his grandkids play.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it hit him square in the back of the head.
Oh gosh.
And I had to call an ambulance. It was pretty bad.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt really bad, and I haven't played since.
Traumatic golf experience.
Pretty much. Pretty much. It was, yeah, it scared me away from golf for life.
So nothing like that in Mario Golf?
No, you can't hit Toad in the head with a golf ball as much as I want to.
No causing horrific injuries?
No. And I've been hit with a golf ball. I can tell you it hurts.
Yeah, those things are solid.
I got hit in the leg and I collapsed.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, I had a massive bruise. It was great. But yeah.
Golf sounds violent. I don't
Golf.
want to play it now.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. It's a dangerous sport. Everyone should wear helmets, in my opinion. Be much safer. Or everyone should be less bad than I am. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, you need a license to play golf.
That'd be interesting. Mini golf is alright though.
Yeah, that's fun.
It's safe. You can't hurt anyone with a putter. Well, you could, but you can't
could.
accidentally hurt anyone with a putter.
Definitely.
Very easily.
You'd have to like really whack it to get that going.
Yeah.
You could get hurt on the like spinning windmill or something.
Fall into the windmill and get battered. And then like fall in the little koi pond next to it.
Yeah.
I'll talk about one more thing that I've been playing. I've been playing a bunch of Arma 3 with people off of GiantBomb, but I've talked about that on previous week's episodes, and unless you're particularly interested in Arma 3, I won't talk about it again.
No.
No? Okay.
I mean, feel free to talk about it.
No, it's only because I've talked about it on previous episodes, so I'll leave that one out. But what I will talk about is I went back and played again with some people off the PC Gaming Hub from GiantBomb. I was playing with Darksaw. Do you know Darksaw? And who else was I playing with? Sully. Darksaw and Sully. We played some Chivalry, which is the game
Chivalry 2.
Sorry?
Chivalry 2? Isn't that?
There's DLC. I don't believe there's a sequel yet.
Am I thinking of something else?
You might be thinking of something else. Chivalry is the first-person sword combat game where you hit people with sledgehammers and their heads explode.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember that one.
The really silly one that I think Drew did a quick look of.
Yeah.
And you can scream. There's a scream button. That's the most important thing about the game.
Game of the year.
Yeah. I think every game should have a scream button. It's amazing. Just like everyone's running along, just screaming their heads off.
Just Mario going, "It's a Mario! Mario!"
That would actually be pretty good. Someone should make a mod for that. But yeah, I went and purchased the DLC, which is called Deadliest Warrior. And it's DLC where you can play as pirates, ninjas, Spartans, oh gosh, who else? Basically a bunch of really stupid characters, and they all play differently.
Not thematically appropriate.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. The only downside is, when I went to play it, because it's a free weekend this weekend, and the DLC was on sale, the game broke horribly in multiple ways, and I was unable to play it. So we ended up playing normal Chivalry instead. Which is...
And how's that?
It's still really fun. Like, I totally forgot how just ridiculous and fun it actually is. There's... I don't know, a lot of games do first-person combat terribly. See every Elder Scrolls game ever.
Most first-person combat games, basically.
Yeah, melee combat, sorry, that's what I meant to say. So yeah, it's one of the few that actually does it well. And it's really fun in the way that it does it. Like, if you don't have a shield to block, you can only parry, so you have to like time your blocks to fend off people's attacks. So when you're doing well and, you know, lopping people down, you feel like a boss. Especially when you hold off like multiple people at once, and then someone comes over and stabs them in the back and distracts them, and then you smash their heads in with a hammer.
So you land the perfect head chopping blow.
Yeah, because if you do an overhead swing, it's like a one-hit kill on most classes.
So how is it controlled? Are you moving your mouse to move your sword in different directions, and then you slash whichever way it's facing?
No, it's actually different from that. So, the mouse movement just controls where you're facing, like an FPS would. Left click does a horizontal swing, generally, with most weapons. So that'll be like a swipe from right to left. And then if you manage to do a full swipe from right to left without getting interrupted, so for example, being hit by the enemy will interrupt your attack. So you do a full swing from right to left. If you then click again before the swing finishes, you'll do a backswing, if you know what I mean. And you do have stamina that you kind of have to manage, but it's not as important. Right click is your block. So if you have a shield, you'll just hold your shield up, and it'll block any attacks. And if you have just a two-handed weapon, right click will parry, so you'll lift up your weapon for a short period of time. You can't hold it down, you can only tap it. So you have to, as soon as you see someone winding up for a swing, you want to right click to, start blocking. And then they'll clash off. And when a clash occurs, they'll be stunned for a second, and you'll have time to attack. But then if they parry back, you'll be stunned, and then they'll have time to attack. So it turns into this thing of timing your blocks and your attacks and your blocks and your attacks. And then if you get a hit in, especially if you're a class that uses a quick weapon, you can start comboing and start going like bang, 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 and getting a multitude of hits to try and, finish them off.
So what are the classes?
So I think in the base game there are 4 classes. There's Archer, which is you can use crossbows and bows, and have like all the classes have a secondary weapon. So the Archer will have like a short sword or something as their secondary, but they're the most fragile and they'll die from one hit. Quite a lot of weapons.
That sounds a lot different to the other classes, which are melee based, right?
Yeah, it's the only ranged class. Although some of the other classes, as a third weapon, have throwing knives and fire bombs that you can throw. Actually, they're throwing axes, not throwing knives. But you get the idea. So that some of them do have ranged weapons as well. The other classes are... There's I don't know what to call it, a light class, I suppose, that can dash. So if you double tap in one direction, you'll dodge left or right. And so you can use that to get around behind people. And you have a short sword and a shield, and you can sort of slash.
So it's quite nimble.
Yeah, a very nimble, fast class, which obviously does less damage and has less reach on its weapons. Then there's the Vanguard, which is kind of your middle tier class, which uses long spear-like weapons. So you can use spears, pole axes, halberds, that kind of thing, with more reach, probably the longest reach in the game. And those can be used to either jab or do overhead swings or swipes. Can't remember what the key for jab is. I think it's click the middle mouse button. I don't use it very often, as you can tell. And then finally there are Knights, which are fully armoured. They can take the most amount of damage, they have the biggest shields, and they can wield giant two-handed weapons like battle hammers and maces and stuff like that.
That sounds awesome.
That's the class that I play, because I like smashing people's heads.
If you land a blow with that, you definitely know you've landed a blow.
Yeah. There's a lot of classes that Knights can just one-shot if they land a heavy attack, which is, if you scroll the mouse wheel, you do an overhead swing. And if you land one of those, a lot of classes will kill instantly. If you're using a pole axe, you can slice people's arms off just with a nice overhead swing if you time it right.
Can you still go if your arm's been sliced off?
There's actually a mod for that, apparently, which I haven't played yet. It's called the Black Knight mod.
Oh. Yeah.
After the Monty Python sketch. I really want to play it, but yeah, apparently you can carry on fighting after you've had appendages chopped off.
So is it basically one hit kill a lot of the time?
No, a lot of the weapons you can take 2 or 3 hits from without dying. Especially from the lighter classes. Arrows will take 2-3 hits, I believe, to kill someone. So the archers are generally aiming for the people that are weakened. And you can actually visually tell how weakened people are by how much blood they're covered in. And
that's cool.
It's funny, there's the red team, which is Masons, and the blue team, which is Agatha. And if you're on the blue team and you've taken so much damage that you only have a tiny little sliver of health left, because you're covered in so much blood, you look like you're red, and then your teammates might team kill you.
Is there friendly fire?
Oh yes, it wouldn't make any sense if there wasn't. Because you can imagine 5 people running in with long swords and battle axes, and swinging on one dude will quite often stab each other by accident.
Chop each other's heads off.
Pretty much, yeah. So yeah, team kills are very common.
Do you find that the classes are quite balanced? Do most people tend to go towards one thing, or is there an even split?
They're surprisingly balanced. One of the dudes we were playing with, Darksaw, apart from being inhumanly good at the game, he will rinse everyone with whichever class he feels like, except for archers. Archers are kind of cheesy, and people only play them just to hang at the back and not really do a whole lot.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you want to be an archer, you don't want to really get involved, but you still just want to get points.
I mean, archers can be really effective, if you have the right amount of them. But if half your team's playing archer, yeah, you're not gonna achieve much at all. There are other modes, there's free-for-all modes, and there's objective-based modes where you have to push a cart to kind of like Team Fortress 2. The push the bomb cart missions. There's basically that. but in this. But there's some fantastic level design. So, like, one of the objective-based missions is it starts off, you have to protect villagers and stop houses from being burned down. And then if you fail at that, you drop back a level and then have to protect a castle gate from being bashed in by the attacking team. And then if that fails, you drop back again, and one of the players on your team, I think it's usually the person who's winning on your team, is chosen to be the king. And
you have to protect him.
You have to protect the king, and he only has one life. And it gets really
That's
intense.
very involved for multiplayer mode.
Yeah, it's really creative, and it actually creates some really exciting multiplayer matches. Yeah, it gets really tense. I think your king can take a few extra hits, but still, like with people YOLOing straight at the king and just suicide running him, it gets pretty crazy.
Do you get a crown?
I don't think you do, but you do change colour if I remember correctly. I can't remember. Maybe you do get a crown. I might have lied. It's been a while since I played that mode.
So it sounds like a game that would be good for mods.
Yeah, I don't know too much about the mod scene for it. I know there is one, obviously, and I know about the Black Knight mod, but I actually haven't dived into any of that at all. I've just been playing vanilla, and I want to check out the DLC, because the DLC seems to be effectively a mod where you can just play as super fast, silly classes like ninjas and stuff, which seems like it's going to be pretty jazzy and fun.
That sounds like it could be a fun time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Sneaking up on someone and stabbing them with your ninja sword.
With your nunchucks.
What do pirates have?
I guess
do they have guns?
Cutlass, maybe? Sure, why not? I don't think they do. I doubt it. I very much doubt it. It wouldn't gel very well with the rest of the game. Unless they were like blunderbusses and just missed all the time.
That would be funny. Like right in front of their face, but then it still misses.
Yeah, absolutely. Alright then. I think that pretty much wraps up what we've been playing this week. What do you think?
Yeah. I haven't been playing anything else. Hopefully after exams I can check out everything that I've been meaning to play.
Yeah. I mean, after your exams, are you done for the year?
Yes. And then nice summer. Actually, I'm done completely.
Oh, sweet. Have you found a job yet, or are you putting that off?
I haven't found a job. I found a PhD. Oh,
yes, of course. I remember you saying that on Twitter now I think about it. What you going to be researching?
It's called topological insulators.
Topological insulators. Okay. I'm not sure how those two words fit together, but I'm sure in physics it makes sense.
Yeah, it's best to look at the Wikipedia page. It gives you a good description.
Did you write it?
No, I didn't write it.
Is that your PhD? Make the Wikipedia page better.
Source me every time.
Yeah.
Because I said so.
Well, you are an expert.
Yeah, that's what you find as you go further in your degree. Wikipedia is less helpful. You're like, no, I need the answer to this question, but no one knows about it.
Yeah. I hate it when, like, I try and look something up to help me with, like, revision for an exam, and I find a research paper, and I'm like, no, this is not useful to me.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I get. In first and second year, you type in the question, and then someone's done it before.
Yeah.
Saying, I'll just copy the answer. I'm not saying I did that. I've heard other people did that.
Yeah,
but
terrible people.
Now you can't do that anymore.
No. What made you decide to do a PhD then?
Didn't really want to do a job. Yeah, and I kind of wanted to get into research because I enjoy physics.
Well, that seems to make most sense then. Yeah, if you enjoy the subject more than getting an actual job related to it, it definitely seems like a good idea to stay at uni and do some more research.
Yeah, I'd like to find out something new. That'd be cool.
That would be pretty neat. I discovered that.
Have my name put to something.
Yeah, be able to brag about that one.
I think I get to be a doctor.
Oh.
Like a fake doctor though, not like a proper doctor.
Yeah. Can't help me with my warts.
Like someone's having a heart attack. I'm a doctor, but I can't help you.
Yeah, a physics doctor. Well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's enough uni talk for now. Shall we move on to some news?
Yes, there's been quite a few announcements this week.
Yeah. I was quite excited to do a podcast this week, particularly for this piece of news. Let's kick it off. Kick it off with the blockbuster. There's gonna be an Xbox One with no Kinect.
Dun dun dun. But
Dun,
Kinect
dun.
is vital to the Xbox One experience.
You know, about that, I actually wouldn't want an Xbox One without Kinect. Like, the things that got me most excited about the Xbox One were... Well, the things that got me most excited about Kinect for the original Xbox One was the voice control stuff. And yes, it's not perfect, as Patrick made evidently obvious with his little featurette on the site. But, voice commands are... I don't know, I find voice commands really exciting. I find, like, ever since... I don't know if you remember...
They're really futuristic.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it. I'm in the future now.
Like, on the original Xbox 360, did you remember? There was some RTS game, I can't remember what it was, but it came out and you could use your Xbox headset.
War?
Yeah, that's it, End War. I forgot the name of it for ages. And you could use your headset to be like, Control Group Omega, go here, and like select units effectively.
Did it work?
I think I played the demo and it seemed to work alright. But it was very restricted. Like, it was only, you could say the different control groups for all your units, and that was pretty much it.
But that would be so cool if it worked properly. Make you feel like a commander in a battlefield, telling your units what to do.
Exactly. That kind of stuff makes me really excited. The other thing I think Kinect would be really good for, and what they absolutely ruined with the Xbox 360 version, was not for Kinect-only experiences, like not replacing the controller, but augmenting the controller. I think the most useful stuff for Kinect is... The example I've always thought of is, what about if you were playing Call of Duty with your controller, but you could lean left and right to lean left and right in the game just by moving your body? Because obviously, PC shooters have, lean buttons quite often, but the controller lacks the number of buttons required to fit that in and, have it not feel like garbage. So why not just make it a body gesture, and then it's entirely optional?
But then
I think it would work.
But then they would have to make that a permanent. You have to have Kinect, because then some people would be able to lean, and some people wouldn't be able to lean.
True. But if the Xbox One had stuck to its guns and everyone had come with a Kinect, that wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. I wonder what's going to happen with Kinect now. Are they going to sell it separately?
I think they've said they will. But they haven't announced the price. I mean, the original Kinect is still selling for $100. And how much have they dropped the price of the Xbox One by $100? Is that right? Yeah, they dropped it from $499 to $399 without a Kinect.
So that's the same price as the PS4 is in the US, right?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. So it'll be interesting to see if its sales pick up. I mean, I don't think there was anything to worry about too much with the Xbox One sales up to this point.
It's selling less than the PS4, but I don't think it's in trouble. It's not Wii U numbers.
Yeah, apparently this year it's outselling the amount the Xbox 360 did at the same time. So it can't be tanking that hard if it's outselling the 360. So,
and it's still early days. It's less than a year since they came out.
Yeah.
And they've announced, or if we want to go to the next thing, they announced Halo 5, so they're showing their big guns now, their big marquee titles.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I don't think anyone was particularly surprised that Halo 5 is going to be coming to Xbox One, or that it's going to feature Master Chief. I think those two things everyone could have predicted. But
Halo 5 Guardians.
Yeah, apart from the terrible name, did they announce a date?
Fall 2015.
Fall 2015. That's quite a while away for them to be announcing it now.
Yeah, I thought they said it was going to be this year at some point.
Yeah, at E3
Last year, E3.
Yeah. That's weird that it's still a long way off. I mean, they are claiming they're going to be rebuilding the engine, a new engine for new consoles. I believe that's correct.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll see how that turns out. I mean, they're also going to apparently release Halo, the
1 to 4, there was some rumor.
Yeah, the
collection.
Master Chief Halo collection, I think is the name that people are claiming it's going to be called.
Because it doesn't have Reach or ODST, probably.
Oh, Reach, the good one.
Yeah, we won't include that. We'll include Halo 4.
Yeah, which was not as good.
I've only played Halo 1
You've only played
On a-
Halo 1
on a PC.
on a PC as well.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I actually really liked ODST. Now I think about it, I kind of liked. A lot of people slated the open
That was
world
one
part
where
of it.
you didn't play as a Spartan.
Yes, you played as a ODST, which I can't. Orbital Drop Shock Trooper, I think it stands for. Basically a Marine. You were a Marine.
They had a different name. It was Halo Recon,
Oh really?
wasn't it? And then they changed it to something which is harder to say.
That sounds about right. I think it was probably named after the Recon armor or something, because that was always really sought after in Halo 3, wasn't it?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know. Sorry, I forgot. No, what I was going to
Master
say.
Chief, Cortana. Those are the things I know. And Halo. Those are the things I know about Halo. The Covenant. Should I keep just saying?
Yes, just keep saying things. No, just keep going. I'll write them all down.
What's the one who has like a blade in his hand? The enemy, like a laser blade kind of thing.
An elite.
Yeah, Elite.
Okay, we've got 5 so
And
far.
then in Halo 2, you play as some other guy who's not Master Chief.
The Arbiter.
Yeah, see?
6.
You know something?
You're good at this.
Dual wielding in Halo 2.
Yep, 7. You know what the best bit about Halo 2 is? The part where it suddenly ends for no reason whatsoever.
The Flood.
Yeah, they're not the best part of Halo 2.
Okay.
They're probably the worst part.
The Library. Is that a level?
That's the worst level in Halo history.
Okay. Winter Contingency.
I'm going to believe that sounds like it's a Halo level. Are you
I
on
remember
Wikipedia?
No. They played that in that.
Oh, is that the one where they got
charity
stuck up at the
stream.
top and then it checkpointed them and then they had to restart the whole mission?
They kept playing that on the charity stream when they were going through.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which Halo game it was though.
I think that was 3.
3.
Yeah, I think that was 3 because... Were they playing on Legendary? I think they were, right?
Yeah, they were having a tough time with that.
Yeah.
Oh, Warthog.
Yep.
Could I forget?
I thought you were talking about DCS then. I was like, well, why are we talking about planes?
That's about it.
Yep,
That's quite good for
Yeah.
someone who played Halo 1.
That was like nearly 10 things.
Yeah, I'm an expert.
Bona fide. Certified, rather.
Ask me anything about it.
Just trying to think of a good question. When should Halo Reach have ended?
When Reach explodes.
Close. That's actually quite close.
That seems like a subjective question, though.
It is a subjective question, but so I don't know how much you care about Halo spoilers. This isn't even a spoiler, it's just like the mission structure. Basically, at the end of Reach, you get on a spaceship that is about to fly off the planet. I think it's that massive one. What's it called? The really famous giant spaceship that's in all the Halo games. Oh god, what's it called?
Star.
Yeah, the Death Star. So you're on the Death Star, right? And the Death Star's about to fly away from the planet. And then your guy's like, lol, no, I'm getting off. And then gets off and goes back. And you have to play like another hour's worth of gameplay for no reason whatsoever. And then he never gets off the planet. But the most, because I played that on Legendary solo, and I was like so stoked. I was like, oh, I've reached the end of the game, great. And then he gets off that fucking spaceship, and it was the hardest bit of the game, like the hardest bit of the whole game, and I was stuck on it for like 4 hours.
This is the perfect ending until it isn't.
Yeah, it was great. I was like, no, what have I done?
Why did you get off the spaceship?
He was like, he's got some stuff to do, so I got to go back.
And they needed him to die on the planet, so.
Exactly, because it happened at the beginning, so it kind of had to happen at the end.
Are there any other Master Chiefs still around?
You mean Spartans?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I can't remember what happened at the end of. I'm pretty sure. I think in 4 there were more Spartans.
You play co-op,
right?
there are.
I'm pretty sure in 4 there were more Spartans. I'm gonna say yes. I could be wrong. Don't hold me to that one. I played 4 without being able to hear the cutscenes, so
maybe they should have an evil Spartan who wears black armor, because that usually. makes them evil.
You've just spoiled Halo 5 for everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Shadow Master Chief.
Shafter Chief.
He follows your actions.
Alright. Unless you've got anything else that you desperately want to say about Halo, shall we move on?
It will probably sell quite a few copies.
And hopefully it'll sell quite a few Xboxes.
Well, the thing was, they announced it before E3, which is only a few weeks away.
True, but they also announced it at E3 last year.
Yeah, but they announced the full name.
That's true. Yeah, there have been I mean, we'll get onto talking about E3 a bit once we're done with the news, but there have been a lot of pre-E3 announcements, which make you wonder what they're actually... Pre-3, thank you. Which make you wonder what might be actually happening at E3. Like anything? I don't know, Nintendo are doing some web seminar or something.
And it's another Nintendo Direct. They love those things.
Nintendo Directs are pretty good, though.
They put effort into them, which is why I like.
Yeah, they do. The next piece of news I have here is Ubisoft's The Division has been delayed to 2015, which kind of bums me out because I was quite excited for that.
They do have Watch Dogs this year.
They do have Watch Dogs this year, which was also delayed from last year. So I guess it's just a general shuffling of everything in Ubisoft's catalogue.
So whatever they announce at E3 will be delayed 6 months from whenever they say it's coming out.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, the reason I'm really excited is about The Division is kind of a shallow one. I just think it looks really good, like graphically.
Yeah, they had like bullet holes and then the light is coming through the bullet holes.
Yeah, hopefully it being delayed means I'll be able to upgrade my PC before it comes out. I did plan to upgrade this year, but in what's the word I'm looking for? Along with everything else being delayed, Nvidia's next line of graphics cards got delayed till next year. So
you're going to wait for that?
Yeah, I'm going to wait for that. I know people always say, technology will be out of date as soon as it comes out. But I said to myself about a year ago that I was going to wait for the 800 series before I upgraded. And then it was meant to come out this year, and then got delayed, so I don't know. I've waited too long now for it to make any sense to just buy a 700 series card. I
don't know what you're talking about, but...
Oh, sorry.
You're saying gibberish words, but I believe you. I think it's time for me to get a PC. I've had this laptop that I got when I went to uni that I've been using.
Yeah.
It's time for me to get a proper PC now.
Yeah.
Should invest.
It's worth it, man. Come over to the dark side. PC is pretty
good. I have all those games on Steam that I should play. Maybe if I have...
I have a PC and I still have all those games on Steam that I should play.
I have all those indie games with very simple graphics that I need to play. Maybe if I upgraded my PC to something.
I really need to stop buying Humble Bundles.
Those just take money, man.
They're just absorbing my money into a black hole.
So bad.
Never to be seen again.
I'm like, some of the games I know I can't even play. I'm like, eventually I'll have something. Eventually PCs will get to a point where any PC will be able to play this game, so I might as well just buy it because it's on sale, which is a terrible way to think about it.
I like that. I like that mentality. That's good. That's good. I like that.
I'd spend that student loan on something.
Do you reckon you'll build your own, or will you pay for someone to put it together?
I really don't. I'm not interested in building it myself.
Oh man, you're missing out.
What? I don't see what the fun is in it. It could just go wrong, and then you've got an non-functioning PC.
Yeah. Apart from the squeaky bum cheeks moment when you turn it on, building a PC is actually really fun, and it's just like putting together Lego. Like, it's really simple. Really simple.
I'll just be so anxious thinking I've damaged something as I put it in.
That means you won't break it, though.
I'll see. I'll have to find out what... I don't even know where to start, to be honest. I have to look online.
Yeah, I spent like 6 months learning what the hell a graphics card was. Well, not quite to that level. I did know what a graphics card was, but you know what I mean. Just sort of researching between brands and model numbers before I even began to think about putting a PC together manually. So it is a big endeavor, but once you've done it once, you won't go back, and you'll be much more confident doing it in the future. That's for sure.
I'll check out Tested or something. They must have.
They do occasional yearly builds. Like, if you don't want to have to worry about, looking up, what graphics card is better than this other graphics card, just Tested usually once a year will put up a PC build and film putting it together, and then you can just buy all the parts that they bought and then follow the video, and you'll be set.
Want something that can run the latest games at a decent level.
If you can run Crysis, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Crysis is a legitimately good benchmark still. Like,
is it still?
Yeah, because it's so horribly unoptimized. If you can max it out, you can still run good games today. It's hilarious.
Does look good.
Does look good. You're right. You are certainly right. Anyway, moving on from The Division. What else have we got? Far Cry 4 is coming, apparently.
Yeah, due this November, 21st of November.
So that'll be delayed 6 months then.
Yeah, exactly. So May
2015,
and then The Division will come out in 2016.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
But we will have an Assassin's Creed game, probably. Those never get delayed.
No, sadly.
So it's set in the Himalayas.
Is it? Is it really?
It is. That's what they say.
Apparently.
And that's what the box art shows. Some guy looks like he's in the Himalayas.
Yeah, he's holding that dude's head. He's holding a grenade.
Yeah, that dude does not look pleased to be holding that grenade.
I feel like that grenade might be live.
Possibly. We'll have to ask him.
It's funny how that guy in the pink suit isn't bothered about it.
Yeah, he seems quite happy. He almost looks like the guy from Saints Row.
Yeah, you're right. He does have a Saints Row vibe about him.
They have those purple suits.
Yeah, you're right.
Did you play Far Cry 3?
I played it at a friend's house. I never bought it myself though.
Yeah. I bought it and I've never played it. I bought that in binary domain and then I never.
Did you not even go around and shoot some tigers or something?
It's still in the wrapping. That's how bad it is.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
I'm so terrible.
That's pretty bad, actually. I don't think I've ever bought a boxed game and then not played it. Actually, that's a lie. I didn't buy it. I was given that, so that doesn't count. I have a sealed box copy of Mass Effect 3 because I still haven't finished Mass Effect 2.
I see. Are you ever going to get onto that?
No.
No.
My shepherd's a lady.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I just wanted to share.
Oh, okay. My shepherd's a lady. I can't play Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, that's why I can't play Mass Effect anymore, because my shepherd's a lady.
I have to go back and start again.
I'm disgusted by my evil lady shepherd, my renegade lady shepherd.
But yeah, that's quite soon. It only came out 2 years ago. 2012, Far Cry 3.
Yeah, it does. Well, it's more that they just kind of announced it out of nowhere and then it's coming out, in a few months. Yeah, seems pretty crazy. But then again, not too crazy. I think Far Cry 3 did pretty well, so...
True.
Better than the other ones, anyway. I like that the top comment on the article on GiantBomb is, I want to be equipped with a vast array of animals. Which is very accurate.
Maybe they should
fire tigers.
Just let you play as an animal. Transform into different animals.
Yeah. That's true. Reading the quote from the PlayStation blog, it does actually say, you will be equipped with a vast array of weapons, animals, and vehicles. So that means you're going to be equipped with animals, which sounds great.
Fire bees from your hand.
Yeah. Well, isn't that like the darkness or something? Couldn't you do that? Maybe I made that up. There's definitely a game where you can shoot
BioShock?
bees. Yeah. Probably do it in BioShock.
In BioShock Infinite, you can have ravens.
There's I won't go there. Okay, yeah, cool. What else have we got? I forgot to mention earlier when we were talking about the Xbox One, they finally unbroken Xbox Live in that you can use, Netflix and Twitch and that kind of use of stuff without paying.
Finally, took long enough.
Without paying for Xbox Live Gold. So Hooray.
I haven't renewed my gold in.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Here's the best bit. You can now use Internet Explorer.
Ah, okay.
Wow,
That's pretty good.
they made you pay for Xbox Live to use OneGuide. Isn't that the TV thing?
What's OneGuide?
It's like the TV thingy, so you can, get a TV guide on the Xbox whilst you're piping your TV through it.
Is that for Xbox One?
Yeah, I presume
okay.
so because it's called OneGuide.
Is that no? Okay. Is that no longer a gold feature?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It seemed a bit weird that one of the major features they were touting of like you can watch your TV through this box, I guess, was locked behind a paywall.
That is strange. I don't know. I don't know how they got away with it for so long.
I don't know how they are still getting away with charging people for online multiplayer. That is, without a shadow of a doubt, the number one reason why I have stopped being as interested in consoles. Is since I've come to PC, it's made me wonder how on earth people accept paying for online multiplayer.
Isn't the PS4 also have pay for online multiplayer?
Yeah, that's like I probably would have bought a PS4 by now if I didn't have to pay for online multiplayer.
Well, then get a Wii U. That's your console.
Maybe I will.
It's just like a PC.
Just like it's like a PC, but imagine if you could only control your PC with an iPad.
Yeah, and nothing looked as good. And you had internet, but you couldn't do any of the things you wanted to do with the internet.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for it, but it also doesn't work.
Yeah, but it has Mario.
Alright, I'm back in.
Yeah. PC doesn't have Mario.
Yet. I'm pretty sure if I wanted, I could go play some Unity Mario game.
True. PC doesn't have legit Mario.
Have you heard of Dolphin?
Dolphin. Oh, okay. Yes. Fine. PC doesn't have legal Mario.
Yeah, that's the one. Nailed it. Nailed it. Talking about Mario, Nintendo have been in the news recently. Our final news story this week is that Nintendo have promised the future Tomodachi games will be more inclusive. So this is on the back of the alleged scandal about Nintendo saying, they wouldn't patch in same-sex relationships into some weird dating sim that I had never heard of before. That was being translated into English for 10 people to play.
Yeah. But I think it's good that they said that now. They probably should have said that in their first statement.
Yeah. Their first statement was... I mean, it was to the point, I suppose, but it was also not what people were looking for when they said, it costs us too much money and we don't have time. Meh. You're lucky we're translating this at all.
Just say we'll do it next time. It's too late to do it this time, and we didn't think about it for whatever reason. But we'll try to rectify it for the next entry.
They weren't trying to make a statement by not including same-sex relationships. And then by omitting that fact, they then made a statement by accident, which is kind of amusing in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good that they've, backed up on that. I mean, did you watch Eurovision?
I did watch Eurovision. I was very happy with the winner.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. It's a good song.
Yeah.
As well.
It was indeed. And yeah, that's, proof that people are changing. People are, giving a shit about that kind of stuff now, and that's probably why this Nintendo news became such big news again. It's because people care about that stuff now. So
yeah, it's a simple thing. It's not like asking too much, is it? Just to
not unless you're from Russia.
I'm from Russia or something. To include other people of different orientations.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I don't have too much else to say about that news unless you wanted to chime in on that.
No, I'm happy to see. Well, hopefully that they do include it in future games.
I can't imagine they won't. Like people will be on them like hawks if they don't.
Like, oh, we forgot.
I don't know. Yeah. So, yeah, that pretty much wraps up all of the news we wanted to talk about. So, sadly, we don't have any emails this week or anything like that. So, why don't we round out the show with a little bit of discussion about the Electronic 3?
Yeah, it's only a few weeks away.
Yeah, I'm...
June.
Is that right? June? That soon? Yeah, I mean, for me, I find E3 to be, as a enthusiast about gaming in the industry, I find E3 to be potentially the most exciting time of the year. You always go in, expecting all of the craziest things to happen, and then some crazy things will happen, and then other things will be kind of disappointing, but it's still actually really kind of cool, so you kind of get hyped about it every year anyway.
Exactly. It's a thing that everyone who enjoys games can look forward to, because either you'll find something cool or something will go wrong spectacularly. Either way, there's something interesting to watch.
Well, there it is.
Which is why Nintendo not having a press conference is a bit of a bummer, isn't it? They've had some classic moments in there. The guy with the drums.
Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, when Nintendo pulled out last year, it made sense. They weren't announcing a new console. They couldn't compete. But the fact that they're still not going to do one this year, I mean, probably financially and in terms of where the industry is, it makes a lot more sense for them as a company to not do that. But it's still a bummer.
I understand
for everyone
why
who likes...
they're doing it. Doesn't make it less annoying that they're still happening.
Yeah, I would love a proper, full-out, crazy Nintendo press conference with Reggie bigging it up on stage.
Yeah, Reggie, come on. He's being wasted in Nintendo Direct.
He's been too busy being a robot or something, I don't know. Did you see that? The Mega 64 video that Nintendo licensed?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
So when they announced their pre-E3... God, that was hard to say. Their pre-E3 plans, they did this... They got Mega 64 to do a video for them where Reggie was an android being controlled by someone who was trying to find out what Nintendo were doing at E3. And then Robot Reggie met Real Reggie, and then Real Reggie was just like, fuck it, I'm going home.
That seems way too self-aware for Nintendo.
I know, right? I was like, what? Have Nintendo lost it?
Did Nintendo even know who Mega 64 are? Did they book them by accident?
I really wish I knew. I feel like it's something that Mega 64 did in their spare time, and then hey Nintendo, look at this thing we made. Would you like it? But yeah, so the culmination of that video was that they announced that you can play Smash Bros in Walmart.
In what? It's a demo.
Yeah. That was one of the three highlights of that video, and I can't remember the other two. They were that good.
Isn't that a normal thing in every game shop that you can demo?
I know, right? And then the other thing was you can play Smash Bros at E3. I think that was genuinely one of the other ones. They were going to have a tournament or something. Yeah. And
at this gaming expo, you can play the game that's coming up.
I know. I think it was a tournament, though, to be precise, which is a little bit more interesting, especially considering what happened at was it Evo, where they banned that tournament of.
But is it
Smash
a tournament
Bros?
of just people who are visiting the conference, or?
I can't remember. I might be lying about some of that. I should probably look it up and actually fact check that. But whatever, I'm just going to go with it. And then what was the third thing that they announced? It was some really ridiculous scheme that sounded not very interesting at all. God, what was it? Okay, I honestly can't remember.
Was it? Oh, it was like not get fit or something like get moving. What was it?
I don't think it was in it.
Or was it the NFC stuff?
It might have been the NFC stuff, maybe. I think that might have been in there, but I honestly can't remember. I feel like there was one more thing, but yeah, never mind about that. All I can say is it made that much of an impression on me that I can't remember what it was. Yeah, so Nintendo have lost it. Nintendo Directs are alright, but it'd be better if they did a press conference. But yeah, shall we? All right, let's play the E3 guessing game. What will Microsoft show /do/say?
Okay, Microsoft. Well, they've already done Halo and the Connectless price drop stuff.
Halo will
So
still
what
be
else?
there. Halo will be
May,
shown again.
what have they announced a big title for this holiday? Yeah,
Gears of War.
have they announced that?
No,
Okay,
that's
then
one of
Gears
my
of War.
predictions. Yeah,
Maybe Fallout 4. Could they have that at their booth at their conference?
maybe. Was Fallout demoed at the PlayStation conference for the PS3?
They always ran like rubbish on Sony, so I'd
Yeah,
imagine they were
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Xbox.
Yeah, it seems like it would be an Xbox thing. So maybe, yeah, that seems like a good shout. If do you think there's a Fallout 4, then is what you're saying?
Seems about time.
Hell, it's about time. Yeah, I think, I think people have
It's
obviously
been a
made it.
few years since Skyrim
I think,
and loads of years since New Vegas.
yeah. Talking about Fallout, I found that ARG that was fake more interesting than Fallout 3.
Oh, I never finished Fallout 3, to be fair.
I think I'd reached the end. I played a bunch of it. It's just the gunplay was horrible, like abhorrent, and I hate post-apocalyptic wastelands. Like the only interesting thing was the mutant people and the robots. That was about it.
I want to play
Sucked.
New Vegas because that seems like it has a better story, which I would be more interested in.
Yeah.
Written by Obsidian.
Yeah. Potentially. But yeah,
A new Fable game? I don't know.
there is a new Fable game, isn't there? I think Peter.
Oh, is there?
I think there's already one being worked on. It's like a Oh god, hold on. It's called like Fable Quest or something. I probably made that up.
Fable babies.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a new one on the way. Hold on, let me have a little look. That's the Wikipedia page for a Fable. That's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah, maybe no new color. They just took out the Connect. They can't afford new colors.
Yeah, Fable Legends.
Fable Legends.
It's
Okay.
an Xbox One title set during the Age of Heroes, long before the first game. You'll play alongside 4 other players and may choose to be the hero or the villain. What a fucking surprise.
When is that coming out? Is that this year?
No, it's just been announced. There's no other information about it, so that'll probably be shown.
Okay.
At least you can't stab arrows into a horse or something, like whatever was going on with that Connect game. Do you remember that?
The on Rails game.
Yeah, it's not on rails. No, wasn't there a bit of that, like where your horse got shot by an arrow and then you had to take it out with your hand, and you could either push it in further or take it out?
Why would you push it in further?
Because you can.
Moral decisions. Do something that has absolutely no benefit to you. But
Yeah,
super
torture
evil.
this horse because you can.
I liked Fable 2. That was good.
I only played Fable. Which one did I play? Fable 2. Yeah, that's the one I played.
It was enjoyable. It was jolly.
Yeah, although you could hold hands in Fable 3, which was pretty awesome.
Oh my gosh. Game
I
Gear.
remember playing that at Eurogamer. I was like, man, this is fucking awesome.
Holding
I'm dragging
hands.
this dude around.
Why doesn't every game have that? The next Call of Duty better be able to hold hands. Kevin Spacey.
Everyone makes like a ring.
Yeah, what else? Microsoft will probably show Call of Duty at their conference.
Oh, great. I can't wait. I'm trying to think what...
They don't have any... What other franchises do they have?
Microsoft don't have anything.
Maybe they'll announce a new one. Would they dare announce a new franchise?
Do you reckon they'll show that Halo TV show?
Have they started filming that?
I don't know if they started filming, but they got to update somehow, surely.
Yeah, they'll definitely show TV for original programming or whatever for Xbox.
Yeah, there'll be a bunch of stuff I don't care about. And then...
What? Anything Connect related? Now that they've dumped it.
They'll obviously make a comment about the fact that the Connect has been dropped. They'll mention that.
Connect is still important to the Xbox One ecosystem. Or
Yeah, exactly. They might show off, I don't know, Fantasia or something to back that up, I reckon.
Yeah. Yeah, Microsoft, they've got the most to show, really. because we don't know.
Yeah, they got.
And they're behind.
Yeah, they are indeed. All right then, Sony.
Sony's going to be disappointed because there's no more Jack Tretton.
That is a bummer. That actually
He
sucks.
just had a presence, man. He just paid attention when he came on stage.
Yeah, he was definitely a natural on stage.
So, they'll show that Order game.
Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about that. What about that Deep Down? You know, that working title Capcom free-to-play thing?
I haven't heard much of that for a while.
That looked interesting. It looked like Dark Souls, and apparently it's free-to-play, which I don't know how that would work, but that looked neat.
Project Beast.
I think, yeah, if that is real and it shows up, it will show up at Sony. The question is whether it's exclusive to PS4, because it could be, you know, a Demon Souls sequel potentially.
I thought it was being funded by Sony.
Oh, so
the rumors.
So the rumors, likely it will definitely be exclusive then.
They're on this whole indie game thing these days, so I'm sure they'll show a few indie games, which
didn't they
make me happy.
Didn't they publish a massive list of indie games very recently there?
Yeah, it was new games coming to their system.
Yeah.
Very impressive, though. They've done well on that end. Makes me interested in getting a Vita, really, to play all these smaller games. Seems suited for that system. Price cut for the Vita, maybe?
What is the price of a Vita nowadays?
I don't even know.
I think it's like 150 quid. I don't think I could cut it much further.
Oh, maybe they'll announce that Vita TV that came out in Japan for here.
You can get a 3G Vita for 180 quid now. And 140 quid.
Oh, that's not bad. That's quite good, actually.
Yeah, that's dirt cheap. That's way too
decent.
So yeah,
my friend, I've played like my friend who has my friend's Vita, and it's a really nice system, and great screen to it. So it's not the system that's bad.
Yeah, the only things you'd want to play on it though are things that are on other platforms.
That's true. I'd buy Spelunky for the third time. Yes, third time.
Oh dear, I never got into Spelunky actually.
Come on, what are you doing?
I tried it. I don't know.
It's what Dark Souls should have been.
It's what Dark. All right, calm down.
Okay. Just love me some Spelunky.
Yeah, I wonder how much time they'll dedicate to the Vita.
They haven't talked about it since E3 at all, or announced anything big for it. A new Uncharted game?
Oh, kill me.
Show something for that.
Have they announced the HD re-releases already?
No, they haven't. They just announced that Last of Us one. So.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I guess there probably will be a new Uncharted. I hate Naughty Dog now. Why can't they just make good games like Crash Bandicoot?
I like Last of Us.
To be fair,
haven't played the Uncharted games.
Yeah, not having a PS3 myself, I played the original Uncharted for about 4 hours at a friend's house and wanted to die of boredom.
That's meant to be the worst one.
Yeah, I am aware that it's meant to be the worst one, but even still, like the whole aesthetic, like the style of it, the gung ho adventurer guy kind of thing, just doesn't appeal to me.
Nathan Drake.
Yeah, that doesn't appeal to me at all. I don't know. It doesn't. The linear shooter / you can climb on shit thing doesn't seem that fantastic in it. Yeah, I guess it was kind of pretty for a console game, so that was nice at least. But it just doesn't seem like something I'd be into. So I never felt like I was missing out by not having a PS3, when that was what people went on as being like one of the best things on the console. But that's a personal thing, I suppose. So yeah, when you say new Uncharted game, it doesn't excite me. But
well, they've already announced it, but they'll probably show something from it.
Oh,
you would imagine. What's their Destiny? Will probably make
Destiny will have to be at the Sony conference. But here's one for you: Star Wars Battlefront. Who
yeah.
gets that?
Maybe EA will show it at their conference.
You know, as much as I trust DICE to do well with that, there's so much of what makes a Star Wars Battlefront game that if they don't nail those things, I will be horribly, horribly disappointed. Because I was a huge fan of Star Wars Battlefront 2. I played like 100 hours of that game, like 100 with a friend, like local co-op, local multiplayer. We used to do dumb shit like get the guided missile launcher, then on the Mos Eisley map, then fire it. Because on the Mos Eisley you could do the all, everyone plays as a hero character thing.
Yeah.
So we were firing the guided missile launcher, and then someone would be a Jedi, and then would try and volley, like a baseball, like hit the guided missile with their lightsaber as it goes past. Great fun.
Yeah. There needs to have that craziness to it as well.
It needs to have, first of all, hero characters. It has to be the same structure.
If it doesn't have hero characters, what are they even doing?
It has to have hero characters. And I really liked the ticket style thing where, like, if you got enough kills, you get to be the hero character for a bit, for one life or whatever, for like a certain amount of time. I can't remember quite exactly how it worked. And then, like, the whole... I actually think the fact that game had loads of AI as well really added to it. I think without having, like, the AI fodder, I suppose, running around and killing each other, that wouldn't work either. And also, the last thing I think it would need is space combat, like, the being on a spaceship and then flying, your X-wing out the side of the spaceship and then shooting each other and then landing on the other spaceship and sabotaging it from the inside. All that stuff. That was awesome.
That was good.
Yeah, I'd want that.
I only ever played that single player though, because I got the PS2 version.
I mean, the single player was just multiplayer with only AI
bots,
or something.
Yeah. But it was still fun.
Oh yeah.
Destroying.
Didn't it have like a actual campaign though? Like you played as like someone in like a Stormtrooper squadron or something.
Yeah, you played as different characters, and then I think
I seem to remember the single player on that being really good.
Yoda? Maybe Battlefront 2. You could play as Yoda.
You could definitely play him in the multiplayer. I can't remember that single player.
I remember it was fun. It was on the level with the Wookiees.
Yeah, that's 2.
Good level.
That's definitely 2. Yeah, I remember that one. That was the map I was thinking of when I was.
Have they said is Battlefront 3 meant to be coming out this year?
They haven't said. I don't think. No, I don't think they said.
They only announced it not too long ago. Well, I doubt they're making Battlefield 5.
You want to bet?
I mean, they're making it.
All right, 100 quid.
I doubt they're going to announce it after the bad reception.
I'm really unhappy that they released a game called Battlefield 4, which was kind of just Battlefield 3 expansion. It was just more Battlefield 3. I don't think it even remotely deserved to be called Battlefield 4.
The Battlefield game is meant to be a big event.
Yeah, exactly.
When Battlefield 3, that was after a long time.
Yeah.
And people like that for the most part. And then suddenly Battlefield 4.
Yeah, suddenly 2 years later. It was actually 3 years or something, wasn't it? But it just felt too soon.
But between Battlefield 2 and 3, it was...
Yeah, it was like 10 years or something stupid like that.
It kind of is, I don't know, they're kind of diluting the legacy of the franchise.
Here's what they should do. They should make a new Bad Company. Yeah,
they should do that in the meantime, and then instead of releasing the major Battlefield games, they should do 1944 or whatever.
1943 even was alright.
Yeah, that was fun.
Good fun.
For a small downloadable game, it was well made.
But yeah, I think I actually think the ending to the first Bad Company was fantastic. Did you finish it?
I never played it.
Oh god. Okay, right. It was so silly. It was so silly. Just like the ending where they thought they were going to be rich and then all their gold was stolen. Like, it was so funny, so funny. It was a very, not serious Battlefield game, and I think it really benefited. And also, it was where they started doing all the destruction tech, and I think the destruction tech in some of the Bad Company games is better than it was in 3 and 4. Like, you could level buildings just like willy-nilly.
And it doesn't crash the game.
Yeah, that's true. That too. But yeah, if you just shot out all the walls on a thing, it would collapse, which was awesome. Like they took that out in 3 and there's 4 as far as I'm aware.
Yeah,
But anyway,
that's weird.
I think
So,
that's a pretty
yeah.
good selection of the predictions. Unless there's anything else you wanted to throw.
Who else? Who else does the press? Sony? No, sorry. Ubisoft and EA do their own little ones.
New Assassin's Creed game?
They've announced that.
Oh yeah, they have, haven't they? Unity.
Unity, and Konami. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Cry in a corner.
Yeah. I don't know. What is up with Konami? Oh, they're probably showing Metal Gear.
Why do they still have a press conference?
They're not big enough to have a press conference.
They aren't big enough to release games.
Actually, no, they don't. They don't. I'm looking at. I don't think they have one.
Okay, good. I was going to say that I could have nothing to show. It'd be really awkward.
Yeah. Yeah, Ubisoft have shown. I can't imagine they'll show anything super big, like new franchise.
No, I think it'll just be, Far Cry 4, Assassin's Creed, maybe The Division if they've got anything to show for it. I don't know, they'll probably talk about Watch Dogs DLC or something.
Beyond Good and Evil 2, finally.
Great. Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
EA.
Mirror's Edge 2?
Mirror's Edge 2, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Um,
Titanfall 2.
Oh, goody. Yearly releases. Maybe they'll alternate Battlefield and Titanfall just to make everyone hate themselves.
FIFA. I'm going to go
they'll
crazy.
show the next FIFA.
Go crazy.
And Madden.
Madden, yeah.
What do they have new other than Battlefront and Mirror's Edge?
Dead Space 15 or whatever they're on now.
Yeah, that could be a thing.
Yeah, I don't know what EA's got cooking.
No, neither.
A new KOTOR game? No, they wouldn't do that.
No, not.
They do have the Star Wars. They do have the Star Wars license now.
Yeah, I think they'll just release Battlefront until oh god, what's it called?
Oh, the new Mass Effect? Maybe.
Is there a new Mass Effect coming?
Well, they're making some. Yeah, they've announced one. They announced that they're making another Mass Effect game.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And Dragon Age. But that's been announced as well.
Yeah.
And they showed stuff.
Yeah.
I hope there's something, because either all these pre-announcements mean that they got even crazier stuff coming out at E3, or E3 is not that as relevant as it once was.
Yeah, it better be the former, not the latter, in that case.
It does make me think, because who is E3 aimed at?
The press conferences aren't aimed at press. You know what I mean? They're aimed at the people watching online.
Yeah, but the people online will get the news wherever. And then the mainstream media. Are people going to the mainstream media to find out game news? Aren't people just going to like YouTube and watching some news show?
How long before it's just like PewDiePie at E3?
Yeah, PewDiePie's conference. What's PewDiePie going to announce this year? No, I thought Total Biscuits conference was much better. Oh, the Yogscast, they were the best one.
God, kill me before that happens.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's basically YouTube's taking it.
I hope E3 remains relevant. It'd make me sad if it becomes nonsense before I ever get a chance to go.
Maybe it needs to die and come back again like it did.
Yeah.
Remember that they stopped doing. There wasn't a convention. It was just like in different hotel rooms for a year or two.
Yeah, it didn't.
Then came back.
Yeah.
Or maybe they should open it to the public, like a Gamescom. Or...
I don't think there needs to be another event like PAX would shadow it if it was just a standard open to the public event. It needs, then I still think there needs to be a venue for big announcements until it gets to the point where every publisher just decides they're going to do their own announcements on their own time. Like a lot of people have been bouncing off and doing. Like Activision don't give a shit. They'll announce, when they announce something, people listen. Same for Blizzard. Blizzard don't need E3. They're just going to announce their games when they feel like.
Yeah, Ubisoft and Microsoft making some big game announcements just weeks before E3 makes me think that they just think they can get the news out there without the need for E3. Like the people who care will pay attention. Like the people who are interested in those franchises will find out.
Yeah.
Beforehand.
It's still weird because E3 is televised still, right, in America?
Yeah, but on some obscure channel.
Yeah,
right?
Spike. Is it Spike? I swear Spike does all the video game stuff usually. Anyway, point is, still a bit different from over here, where you can only find out about that stuff if you are actively searching for it on the internet. But
who's like casually surfing onto Spike and then going to watch some games conference? I'm sure the people who are watching it would probably watch it online if it wasn't on TV.
That's true, actually. That's true.
I don't know. Yeah, I hope there's some crazy stuff. Like every year when you see, like, when they make, like last year when PS4 and they're like, this is the price and then this is all this stuff and you're like, yeah, PS4.
Yeah.
And then
this is the part where we kick Microsoft in the dick.
Yeah, exactly. Like after Microsoft saying, oh, we'll do all these restrictive things that are so important that we'll never go back on. And then they went back on eventually. And then next day, Sony is like, haha, we're cool now.
I still wish Microsoft had stuck to their guns a bit more. Maybe not on everything, but on some things. I think it would be better in the long run.
There is something to be said
about having a vision in the process.
Having a vision for your console.
Yeah.
Because now, what is the Xbox One? A not as good PS4? I don't know. Is that too harsh?
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. I was yawning.
I said, what is an Xbox One now and not as good PS4?
That might be a bit harsh. I guess. I don't know. It's more about the games than the performance at this point, I guess, and whether Microsoft think they can offer a better service than Sony. I guess the TV stuff still adds value if you care about that and live in America, because it sure as hell doesn't add anything if you're not from America.
Yeah, and then the Kinect and all that experience now, that's clearly not as important as it once was.
Nope. Not at all.
Maybe if there was some good Kinect games, people would have liked the Kinect.
I still don't think the Kinect is a platform. I still think it should be treated as a peripheral, not as the centerpiece. And then it would do a lot better if people started exploiting it that way. But that I could be entirely wrong. Hey, I don't work in the games industry yet.
Well, the first one sold loads, didn't it? Like 20 million.
Yeah, but that was Dance Central. Like Dance Central, it's a thing. I don't think there's much. Like, there's not a. Oh, I could be entirely wrong about this. Maybe it's just people haven't tried hard enough. But I don't think you're going to have the variety and depth of games on Kinect that would attract, the kind of people that would be interested in buying a console. Full stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It must have been a lot of people had Xbox 360s, and maybe they didn't have Wii's, and they're like, oh, we want to do this fun family stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll get that.
Yeah, that and play whatever that mech game was that was garbage.
Panzer
Dragoon? No.
No. I don't know what it's called. I want to say Armored Core, but that's not it. That's by the same people. Though.
Steel Battalion, there we go.
Steel Battalion, yeah.
I just googled Kinect tank game. That's results.
World of Tanks.
Thanks, IGN. Oh god, when's that out? Is that out already?
They announced that in their conference last year. I don't know why.
Yeah.
They'll probably show Minecraft.
Who will show Minecraft?
Both of them.
I will cry.
Because it's Minecraft, they have to show it.
But who cares still?
Oh, what's that game by the Max Payne people?
I mean Rockstar.
No,
GTA 5.
the original Max Payne people, Remedy.
Oh, the crazy
time one, freezing time.
time to make a TV show.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of that.
I wish it was an FMV game.
Full FMV game, yeah.
Maybe then I'd care.
Yeah, they need to make a proper comeback. Like, high quality FMV.
No, I think it's better when they're low quality.
Because did you see they had some pictures from, they were going to make a HD version of Mortal Kombat, but still like digital people, digitized people.
Sounds great.
That would have been great, but they
The most
cancelled it.
realistic game ever.
Yeah,
These graphics are real.
yeah. Maybe Microsoft announced their virtual reality headset.
Maybe Microsoft just are like, yo, Unity. No, not Unity. Yo, Oculus. And then are like, the Oculus will work with the Xbox One at launch.
That's true.
That would be
quite
pretty
a big thing.
intense.
Yeah. Well, they can't own it. That would have been more intense.
Yeah, yeah. But if they can, get.
But that would be quite good because
console
they would work if you
exclusivity.
could work it with Kinect, so you could move in space.
It's funny you should say that. Some people at my uni at a hackathon developed. So Minority Report, the thing where
Yeah.
you can grab windows and like throw them around. They made with a Kinect and a Oculus a Windows manager for Linux, where you can grab your windows in a 3D environment, throw them
Yeah,
around,
what?
and
Man,
also walk around in the 3D environment using the Kinect. It was
So
insane.
you're walking around inside your PC.
Yeah, it was like
You have to
it was just
run
like
towards my computer. It's like all 100 meters
it was
away.
a bit dangerous because
Like,
the Rift is obviously cabled and like you can't see anything when you're wearing it. But yeah, you could walk around and move like backwards and forwards, and
you have to actually lift the files and take them to the recycling bin.
They didn't get that far.
It's a new way of operating system where you actually do all the work yourself.
Gets exercise.
Yeah.
Exercise operating system.
Windows 9 virtual reality.
It'll probably sell better than Windows 8.
Yeah. If I get a PC, should I get Windows 8?
See, when I'm upgrading, I've been, having that dilemma. Well, thinking of upgrading, should I say. But everything I've heard about it is an absolute nightmare. I mean, apart from the part where it's, slightly faster to boot and, that benefit. But like that, I don't know, every time I read something bad about it, I'm just like, maybe it's a bad idea.
I thought they made it so you could basically use it like Windows 7. You don't have to go through their weird Metro interface anymore.
Oh yeah, you can get it to boot straight to the desktop, and I think one of the new patches is going to add back in the start menu. But I mean, I have a Surface, the tablet, running Windows 8, and there's this stuff, like the 8.1 update, get this is an example of the kind of mentality that Windows 8 has that kind of puts me off wanting to use it. So, when you do manage your Wi-Fi connections, you have like the list of Wi-Fi connections, and say you connect to a network, and then you don't want to connect to that network anymore, so you do the forget this connection thing. In the Windows 8.1 update, they removed the button for forgetting network connections, and now the only way, and I have checked thoroughly, the only way to forget a network connection is to open CMD, type in NETSH, and then like manually type commands to delete the entry for that Wi-Fi connection in the command terminal. Like,
what? Why?
What the hell were you thinking? Like, at what point was it acceptable to remove that button in the first place? Let alone leave the only way to do it by CMD.
No, you can never forget these connections.
Yeah, and I follow.
Be careful which connections you choose.
Exactly, you can never stop connecting to this network because fuck you. And like, I follow Jonathan Blow on Twitter, and he's recently been struggling with Windows 8. And he was trying to just like get an administrator account that had like full administrator privileges. Like all he wanted to do, I think, was like write something to the C drive, and it wouldn't let him until he disabled UAC. That was the only way he could actually allow like full administrator rights like you would expect on normal Windows. So like things like that, just when I see that mentality, I'm like, I really, as for whatever advantages I get with Windows 8, I don't think I can bring myself to go through this.
Maybe it's every other Windows is good. So XP, yeah, that's good. Then Vista, no, not so good. And 7, no, that's good. Then 8, no, that's not so good. And then 9, that's the one you want.
Hopefully.
They make a mistake, and everyone says, don't do that. And they're like, okay, fine, we'll do what you really wanted.
Yeah.
And that's how it works.
Yeah.
But they've heavily invested in that Metro, because it's on all of their systems. Their phone, their tablet, their Xbox One.
Yeah.
It's all the same interface.
Yeah.
So don't know if they'll get rid of that completely.
Maybe they'll just patch the dashboard.
Yeah, straight
Make it look
boot.
like Windows 9.
Boot straight to the desktop and the Xbox One.
Yeah, there's a start menu on your Xbox because I don't know. We heard you like start menus. It's like, no, Microsoft, you haven't. Oh, god damn it.
Yeah, I think it works okay on something like an Xbox, that interface.
Yeah.
And you need big tiles to get around. You don't want
that. Apart from
you
the
have a
fact,
mouse.
like, the pinning seems utterly retarded. Like the way that it pins and then it goes to the back of your list of like infinite, like all your pins, and you have to scroll through them all. And I don't know. I think there's just in general, like, surfacing information on a console is kind of hard. Like if you look at the way the marketplace went on the 360, especially like the indie game stuff, it was impossible to actually navigate that. To find
the navigation on the 360 was terrible.
Yeah,
so hard to find anything you wanted. So are you interested in getting any of the consoles?
So I think the PS4 is like the one I'm leaning towards getting if I were to get one. I nearly bought one, impulse buy at launch, but luckily they were out of stock. And it saved me. It saved me from.
Good that other people had more impulse than you.
Exactly. And I think I want to wait for the hardware revision because I've never managed before to wait for the hardware revision to come around. So if I successfully do that, I think I'll be getting a PS4 because it's what my friends and my family have at this point. So I want to. The only reason I'd get a console is to play with people I know who don't play PC. You know what I mean? Like a PC, most of the time I play with random strangers on the internet, thanks GiantBomb, or on my own. So, occasionally with my cousin because he has a PC as well. But the benefit of a console for me would be getting to play with less technically minded people, or people who don't want to bother with the hassle of a PC or the cost, or just prefer playing on a console, which is more common.
Yeah.
Day to day.
I don't know. I'm not really. None of them at this point, at least, are making me want to buy them. They don't have enough games.
No, that's the main problem. That's why I'm really glad I didn't bloody buy one.
I'm generally a later adopter for consoles. I didn't get a 360 until a few years in, maybe 2008.
I got 360 the January after they came out.
Yeah, and I didn't get a PS2 until a few years after that came out. So, maybe I should just go over to the PC. It's calling me.
It's time. Waiting there for you. Now is the time. It's funny.
PC will always be there.
Exactly. It will always love you. But at the end of the last console generation, like, a lot of people switched to PC just because it went on so damn long, and people were sick of, waiting and seeing how the PC almost became affordable. Like, to get a PC that was better than a console, it was actually within the budgets of most people because, it had been so long since the consoles had come out, the prices had come down enough. And so people made loads of migration then, and a lot of people might not have gone back yet. And on top of that, it still seems like people are, picking PC at this point just because of their consoles still haven't got their full head of steam going yet.
And almost everything comes out on PC anyway.
Yeah, and PC ports have finally stopped being garbage.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm not even as interested in... I've been less interested in AAA games at the start of this generation than I was at the start of last generation.
yeah. There's very little console exclusive wise that I'm like, oh, I need the consoles for this. Because they're all shooters and meh.
Yeah. Do something interesting, then I'll play it.
Yeah. Xbox One comes out with like a game that blows everyone. If Xbox One comes out with, I don't know, the next Grand Theft Auto, you know what I mean? The next kind of game that blows everyone away. The next GTA 3, the next...
Do something risky.
Yeah.
I know that's the whole opposite of what AAA does, but...
Yeah. When that happens, then I will have to... I probably won't be able to hold back any longer. But until then, I'm going to be waiting for them console revisions and seeing what my friends buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... Okay.
So... Yeah, we're the people they have to convince with E3. We're the people who are into games and might buy the consoles.
Absolutely. It's their game to win at this point.
Exactly.
Just need to play the right cards. So...
Gabe Newell's winning and he doesn't even have a conference.
You know what though? SteamOS not going to work. Just
what happened to that? It's kind of disappeared.
What happened was it was Linux, and there are no games on Linux. So
true.
Moving on. Yeah, I don't hold much hope for that, and I particularly think Steam Box is the dumbest idea ever. And I can't believe that they actually went through with it. Like, for the longest time, everyone was like, oh my god, Valve are going to make their own thing. And, like, yeah, they did, and it kind of makes sense in a way, but it's... I feel like they wouldn't have made one if people hadn't gone on about it so goddamn much. You know? Just because there's no real reason for them to make machines. And I mean, they're licensing it out to other people to make them. They're not making them themselves, which makes sense. But if you're interested in PC gaming, you're either going to build a PC yourself or buy a cheaper one. You're not going to buy a Steam box just because it has a pretty Steam logo on it when it's going to be exactly the same thing, just in a pretty case. Like, what?
It probably doesn't cost them much if they're licensing it out. Then other people do most of the work for them.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly.
And they get their name out there.
Yeah. That was probably the only reason they did it in the end. They were never going to make their own, console or something. It just doesn't make sense. Unless something like, the modular stuff really picks up. Like, have you seen that Google modular phone? I think it was Google.
A modular phone?
Yeah, Google came up with this phone design where, so you can, basically everything is attached by magnets. So you can plug in a new CPU just by, like, slapping on a new brick to the side of it. It's like made of Lego, and like the screen you can just take off and then slap on a new screen if you want to upgrade the resolution of your screen. If that kind of thing can happen for PCs and it works well, then I can see Valve making like a console, and then maybe they could be like, this will run on if you have the machine with this part, or like the only way it would make sense for them is if they can guarantee stuff to run, but on PC it's really hard to guarantee that all these games will run or not, unlike on a console where it's specifically made for that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
true.
We have strayed from the point, I suppose.
E3
hype. So
yes, I'm still looking forward to it.
Yeah,
mostly
absolutely.
Just being in the GiantBomb chat and seeing everyone's reaction.
Yeah. I'll probably
talking about it with other people is the fun part to me.
Have you ever joined like the Mumble in years past? 3-3.
No, I haven't. Maybe I should do it this year.
Yeah, I've done that before. It's usually just a load of snarky comments, but it's kind of funny. It's funny as well. But that's what I do with my friends. Like last year, being at uni, I was able to just meet up with some like-minded people and watch it together in a room, and then just take the piss out of everything. So I'll be doing that again.
That's
this
the
year.
fun. That's the fun part. When something ridiculous happens, then you can all make fun of it.
Nuts and like
yeah.
That's what I'll be doing this year. Can't wait. Really can't wait. But yeah, I think that about does it for this week's podcast. What do you say?
Yeah, I think we've covered a lot of topics.
Well, yeah, thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy exam schedule to come join us, Talha.
Always anything to avoid studying.
Yeah, I know that feeling, for sure.
Thanks for having me anyway.
No problem at all. You've been a really good guest, and you're always welcome back if you would like to, join us again. Hopefully, when there's more of us around than just me.
Yeah, I hope you get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, it has been hard since we lost Dave. Been down to just the three of us, and obviously not always our schedules line up. And with John finishing uni himself and going into the real world, he's had less time to do this stuff. But I do hope this thing we have going here doesn't die just yet. Try and eke out a bit more life from it, and
Yeah.
maybe you'll see more episodes in the coming weeks.
Cool. Look forward to it.
Sweet. So thanks for listening. If you want to email us, I should mention it's the mightyelectronicbox@gmail.com. If you have any questions for GiantBomb moderator M Raccoon, I will forward them to him, I guess, or you can always just PM him on the site. I'm sure.
PM me.
Yeah, don't go through me, but I thought I'd mention it one more time. And yeah, peace out.